Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. We're seeming to have technical difficulties already, so hopefully this won't continue to fester through the podcast. So, Colby, it seems like we had a Miss Cleo moment with people that we seem to have shocked and amazed them that somehow we got all this right. Even though we've been getting a lot of things right, and the more right we are, the more hate we get. So I think some of that shock and amazement probably came more from the Raven fan base than it did the Denver Broncos fan base. What I want to talk about, we're going to talk about, I made a little tongue-in-cheek video in the beginning with the Titanic. Did you like the Titanic open? Where all the STR crowd with their STR Kool-Aid fan base are on top of the bow of the ship. Let's go. And then they hit the iceberg. And, for people that don't understand, is we've been making this reference for quite a while because we've been seeing the red flags. Nobody wants to listen. They just want to, hey, I'm partying. I'm below decks. Shut up. Just full steam ahead into that iceberg. And the Denver Broncos definitely hit an iceberg that we said they would hit exactly as it happened. We're going to get the ins and outs of that real quick. Also, I'm going to go over some comments that were made also both on our board and with the STR crowd trying to steer. Of course, we know that Dove Valley would say, don't watch, don't pay attention to what you saw with your lying eyes. It's just a hiccup. And I think that will segue us into Steelers. I've definitely got some things to say about Steelers. You've really gone deep diving into the Steelers. That you'll know. I'm sure you know a lot more than me. I saw that their biggest injury going into Green Bay, I don't know what it's the status now, but going into Green Bay, it seems like their biggest depletion was wide receiver and linebacking. According to the injury report. So we'll see how that all shakes out. And then we got the statue himself, Ben Roethlisberger. But anyway, go ahead and give me your little recap. It's the top of the show recap for you.
For the Ravens game, correct?
Well, in general, anything that if you want to just make a general statement.
I just want to make a general statement about the feel-good crowd out there who are blaming Fangio and Mike Munchak. I really want to get into that because that's something I'm having a problem with this Denver Broncos fan base and all the other online platforms and STR. They can't blame the number one person that has been a constant in this organization for the past 5 to 6 years, and that's John Elway. If John Elway wasn't any...
Just time out real quick, and I'll have you go back. They said they were going to blame John Elway when they hired Vic Fangio, that he would be the next one. We weren't going to blame anyone else. We were going to put this on John Elway. They said they were going to do that. Go ahead.
Yes, they said they were going to do that, and once again, they put their tails between their legs and lied like they usually do. Lies, 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 like a clown car. Honk, honk, honk. So at the end of the day, John Elway is the biggest culprit in this loss to Denver because you know why? Because we said it in our post-game video saying that this came down to player personnel on both on the offense and defensive line and in general. We don't have a full 53-man roster. We just don't because we have decisions made from the top down that make no sense. We have decisions making like we can't get Rashawn Slater. I went back and watched the film about this game. And one thing I really took away was how pedestrian this offensive line is and how pedestrian the play calling was in this game. Everybody likes to say...
I disagree. The play calling. It was not pedestrian. It was complete arrogance. It was complete... it was a disaster. It was complete cluelessness, too. When you start buying your own bullshit, that's the game offensively. That's the game plan. We'll get into defense, too. But let me just ask you this real quick, and you can go back on it. Is it Vic Fangio's fault, and is it Munchak's fault when you have when we've repeatedly, week after week, talked, and I'm highlighting it, Simmons. getting beat over the top. They finally allowed him to actually be a safety, and what happened? It backfired in spades. He gets so turned around. I mean, I'm just saying this was going on all game. How can you blame Vic Fangio when he's given somebody like him, instead of getting rid of him, not paying him like so many other people, okay, and getting somebody that can actually do the job, and knock the PR crap off, knock the lies off. We can see what we see with our own eyeballs, and that's just one example. But go ahead.
No, I agree with you with the whole offensive play calling. I think it was designed to get both quarterbacks killed in this game. I think it was designed to prove a point to people like us, the people that understand that this team needs to be built from the inside out, because Elway just had to stick it to us, and so did Shurmur, that, hey, this is why we need Aaron Rodgers. That was the point that they were trying to put forth in this game, is that this is why we need Aaron Rodgers, because Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock can't beat the good teams in the National Football League. So we both predicted that coming into the season, that they were going to prove that point. Now going back to the offensive line, because this is a big issue I've been having since the beginning of the offseason, even training camp in the past 5-6 years. Garrett Bowles, and this is a guy that we pay top 5 left tackle money to, who I don't think deserved it because of what happened last year. I think it was a fluke year because – what was that?
What happened last week?
That's what I'm going to. Yes, exactly. What happened last week and what's happened the weeks prior to that, because nobody's talking about that. We have a guy. We had a chance to get a guy with the 9th overall pick, and Rashawn Slater, who I made a video on him. He got 1 point some K views. And I got so much hate for that, and everybody thought I was a moron. Everybody thought I was a talking head in the dark. Now go look at his career trajectory with the Los Angeles Chargers. What has he done to help Justin Herbert on his blindside techniques? You people don't understand the techniques of the fundamentals of the offensive line. There is a problem going on. And I want to put this out here. It's not Mike Munchak's fault. I want to put that out here. I want to put the stamp on that. Because every time that Mike Munchak has had the opportunity to go get certain offensive linemen, what has happened? We go out on James.
You're freezing. You're freezing. And basically, Mike Munchak is cut off at the knee.
Stuff like that. We don't have consistency from the front office scouting department.
Yeah, you cut out. So every time Mike Munchak, and then you went dead.
Every time Mike Munchak has the opportunity to get his own offensive lineman, he gets stamped and discredited for, because he has a guy above him named John Elway who goes after guys like Graham Glasgow and Juwan James.
Well, and Surtain and Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, exactly. But
could you imagine? Sorry to interrupt you. Could you imagine if we drafted Quentin Nelson, got Rashawn Slater?
Well, okay. Wait, time out. Now, with that said, if we would have drafted those people, you're showcasing. Now, this is what, again, you start buying your own bullshit when you're Dove Valley. Yeah, we're trying to get Aaron Rodgers, or they're trying to get it, Aaron Rodgers in, right? Elway. So just tell me, does this make any sense? You didn't draft those offensive linemen to put an offensive line in front of this Aaron Rodgers you think you're going to get, like Tom Brady has, where he's at, like now Herbert, okay? All these people, Mahomes getting the offense. You just said you weren't going to do that. You're at the top, the front office. How in the fuck are you going to get Aaron Rodgers to want to come behind this offensive line just to get killed? I'd rather stay in Green Bay if it was me than to come here to this clown show. I mean, even that's a failed model, in my opinion. I cannot see why Aaron Rodgers would want to get behind that offensive line. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
not just about the offensive line. Why would you come to a system with Pat Shurmur and John Elway in an unstable organization?
Yeah.
See this problem. Our Pat Shurmur is the worst offensive coordinator in the league currently, in my opinion, because we have no identity on offense. I've been trying to tell all you people that this guy has no idea what he's doing. He wants to force feed the 3 wide receiver sets 20 plus yards downfield, and it doesn't fit the strengths of Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. We've been over this time and time again, and you don't have the offensive line to hold up that long to help to those plays develop. It's not to help those plays develop, but also Pat Shurmur is an uncreative offensive coordinator, and STR was praising him in training camp, saying that this guy has gotten so creative on the offensive side, and it's backfired, and they're running.
You know where that comes from. You know where that comes from. Those are Dove Valley talking points. And I just want to make this right along this line, is that I was listening to the clown show, D-Mac and Columbus. D-Mac was doing everything to defend. Oh, I'm not going to say anything. And he said literally out, I'm not going to say anything bad about Shurmur. I won't do it. His side partner said, yeah, this guy is like Shurmur. He's definitely poisoned the well. Now, here's a stat for you. I want to give you this stat, because in our pregame, you said, with you more than me, but you said, and I agreed, though, I just shook my head, yeah, that that Shurmur was going to get away from what works and get into those 3 wide sets. Now, I know you don't like stats, but this is one I think you're going to find interesting. Almost 80% of the game plan going into this and going out of it ended up being 3 wide receiver sets. With a quarterback, you don't have to really successfully do it. And
offensive
what? And the offensive line that can't. You go into.
Go ahead.
No, it's total arrogance. It's the game plan is arrogance to show that we are wrong. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, look over here. Yeah, now you look like a joke. And the thing is, Death Valley doesn't even realize they look like a joke. They have no clue what they look like outside of their bubble.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
And if people want to go keep listening to cluelessness and go down below decks of the Titanic, don't worry about what those guys say. Okay. I want to just read a comment to you. You didn't comment on this, but it goes to this narrative. Okay. I like the no commercials, no bullshit. Let's see if I can expand this. Okay. I like the no commercials, no bullshit. And I'm a sub, but I think you're way off on some of your commentary. You say we don't have the personnel. Yeah, including Teddy. We were down 9 starters for this game. The Broncos' strategy was not to rush Jackson. We're going to get to this, too, this not rushing nonsense. Traditionally, because he's the most dynamic player with the ball in his hands and the tire. This strategy was to let him beat us in the pocket. Why? This game was 10 points for the majority of the game. Okay. And it goes on that okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it.
I want to comment on that. That person doesn't know what he's talking about, just due to the fact that the Ravens had 14 guys out. They had 14 players out, and they still had better player personnel than we did. They had 14 players out on the Ravens side of the ball, and we had 9 guys out, that guy said, and they still kicked our ass. It wasn't even a close game. It wasn't a close game. I don't want to hear it from any people, any Bronco fans. This game wasn't close, because that team, what happened when we got punched in the mouth and they took us off our game plan? What happened? Please explain that to me. What happened when they punched us in the mouth? What did I say? What did I say that this guy has mentioned time and time again on his game film? What's going to happen when this team hits adversity? What's going to happen? And we saw again this weekend. They got scared, put their tails between their legs. Shurmur continued to force feed his 3 wide receiver sets, got Teddy Bridgewater killed. He got away from the running game that was working. And to say that, I'm going to get into the defensive line in a little bit. I want to continue about this comment because I have a lot to say about this defensive line. This offense is one of the worst offenses in the league. I don't care what people have to say about it because they have no identity on that side of the ball because
we're talking about the Broncos.
Shurmur's force feed.
We're talking about the Broncos.
Yes.
Okay, not the Ravens. We're talking about the Broncos. Okay.
Not the Ravens.
Clarify that.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, and also, I heard it was 7 starters out. That's what maybe I'm wrong, but I heard 7, not 9. But yeah, okay. That's you're talking about the yes. Well, it was arrogant. In my opinion, it was total arrogance on the part of Dove Valley and the guy upstairs with his sidekick. Yes. I mean, you picked a bad sidekick in Shurmur. I'm telling you that. But I want to talk about this idea about Lamar Jackson's just such a Superman. There's nothing we can do but not rush him and quiver. The Ravens would love you to. The Raven fans, and basically there's another comment from a Raven fan. They want you to do that. Lamar Jackson has a bad back. Why would you just let him sit back there? And obviously, you can't bring the big loopy end type of, Von Miller. But if you implement that strategy of push up the middle and you got your A and B gaps because you got superior linebacking, so he can't go through the A and B gaps. First of all, he can't go because you're pushing he can't go right at you because you're pushing that line right back in his face. He can go into the A and B gaps. Your linebackers, Trevathan, the ones we used to have, would snuff that out. And then you got Von Miller and Malik Reed on the ends. He can't go. That's a 101 formula of success, no matter who the quarterback is, especially one with a bad back. So I reject this notion that Lamar Jackson is a Superman that has to be just let in the pocket and you know what? If that's how dumb Dove Valley was, then they should have got their ass kicked.
Yeah, didn't they say that about a quarterback named?
Well, say that again.
Didn't they say that about a quarterback named Cam Newton?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just.
A quarterback that actually took his team to the Super Bowl, unlike the other guy, who had a bad back that day. That's people believe this bull. They cook this bullshit up at I don't know where. I'm sure STR, even those other platforms are feeding it to them. They don't think critically. I'll take a top interior line, a top front 7 over Jackson any day of the week. Any day of the week. Sure, Jackson probably a healthy Jackson could get a couple on you. I'm not saying that, but I would still put the odds on I'm talking about top line front 7. I'll put it against him anytime. And if the way I see it, that may have been why he didn't get to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
It may just been why he never made it to the Super Bowl. He met opponents that could stop that. Just saying. So I wanted to snuff that nonsense out. I mean, complete, utter nonsense.
I agree.
And personally, I wouldn't bring a guy like Jackson in. Yes, he's talented. I think he's great in some respects, but there's a shelf life on those type of quarterbacks. And we got now that could lead us into the Steelers and that statue they got over there. But
I want to continue to talk.
So yes, let's continue with that.
Defense, because I have a big point of contention here. Draymond Jones. I went back and watched the film. I watched the film review. Where is this guy?
Nowhere.
Where is this guy?
He's a nowhere man.
Fucking tell me where this guy is. Give me film and tell me where this guy is. Tell me.
He's a nowhere man.
Stop overhyping this player. You want to compare this guy to a freaking DeForest Buckner, a Garrett Jarrett, a Aaron Donald, a Malik Jackson? You want to compare him to those type of players? Denver Bronco fans, where the fuck is Draymond Jones?
Point blank.
Just saying.
You came to this channel. You call us a bunch of idiots because we pointed out that he needed one of those other players to boost his game up, to raise his ship. And you said, "Oh, you two, you don't know what you're talking about. You two don't."
Yeah,
show us where he is. Go ahead.
Yeah, where Shelby Harris? Wasn't Shelby Harris this overpaid defensive end 3 technique to help Draymond Jones? Oh! Now they're saying that Draymond Jones is about to break out. You said that last year. You said that the year before that. Denver Bronco fans, STR, and all the other line platforms, please tell me where the fuck is Draymond Jones? Where the fuck is he? Because you guys came on this channel, said that I'm an idiot, that I don't know what I'm talking about, and look what I did again. I made you guys look stupid because you guys can't look at film. You guys are afraid to put out film. Oh, the film review that we don't have.
Even though we show film. Yeah, this is a little bit about Shurmur.
Yes.
I don't think even people at STR couldn't actually get on board with defending Shurmur. They tried. Some of them wouldn't go there. But nobody is buying Shurmur. I don't think, as much as they're trying to peddle it, I don't think anybody's buying Shurmur's bullshit excuse. The running game was definitely effective. There's no question about that. You have 2 of your offensive line. Hold on. You got 2 of your offensive linemen out, and you develop a game plan that has to do with you develop a game plan that you need starting off on a top offensive line, and you just flushed it all down the toilet, and there's no way around it. It was all arrogance. It was all arrogance. You're not making them look stupid on Draymond Jones. I just want to say this. Draymond Jones is making you look stupid, not you. The people that came here and that defended Draymond Jones, he's making you guys look stupid because he is not the player you thought he was. We wanted Sheldon Rankins, who had actually a pretty good game against the Broncos. It just want to scratch your head.
Problem that you could have got Sheldon Rankins to help develop Draymond Jones. You could have got a Sheldon Rankins to push a Draymond Jones. But no, what you had to do was overhype Draymond Jones, saying that he's this next Malik Jackson, overpay for Shelby Harris. Again, where's Shelby Harris? 3 years, $27 million for this guy. 3 years, $27 million for Shelby Harris. Oh, my God. This is crazy, man. Where the hell are those 2 starters at? See, Salami, you said that this offensive line for the Ravens was dog crap. It didn't look like that against the Broncos defensive line. And the Jaguars
They weren't trying. Jackson's just too much. He's too big. That's from the Super Bowl 32. He too big. If you buy that bullshit, you have no critical thinking skills, and you're not paying attention.
No, they don't have critical thinking skills because guess what? When you showed the film, what was Lamar Jackson doing? Reading War and Peace like Josh Allen did.
I just answer this. I just want, for all that you people that disagree, just answer one question. Even if you buy your own bullshit, that you just sit back and quiver while he throws the football, which isn't what happened during his playoff run, by the way.
No.
Why would you, when he has a bad back, why would you not push that pocket into his face? Oh, you can't. Number one, Broncos.
Because you don't have.
You don't have the player personnel to do that. So all you do have is just to sit back and quiver. But if you had somebody up in the front office with a clue, you would have had the player personnel to get in his face, and you'd have the player personnel to mind the A and B gap. He can't run out of that. And you would have the player personnel for your ends to finish the job. It's football 101. It doesn't matter if it's Cam. It doesn't matter if it's Jackson. It doesn't matter if it's Brett Favre. It's football 101.
And again, there's another player on this defense that I want to bring up real quick. Justin Simmons. I went back and watched the film, and again and again and again and again and again and again and again, this player gets a beat time and time again, and you guys pay him like a top 3 safety. He's not a top 10 safety. He's a backup type safety, in my personal opinion. Justin Simmons is a culprit and is also a direct correlation to John Elway's PR bullshit. He is an overpaid, overhyped player. This guy doesn't, he got beat by Mark Andrews, and you guys are trying to sit here and tell me that this guy is the best safety in the league. Get out of here.
Well, if you're delusional, that's what you'll say. That's pure delusion. When your eyeballs can show you, and this is what we've seen for a long time. Now, let me ask you a question about Justin Simmons and this coaching and John Elway. Do you think, because remember, nobody else except us, week after week, showing film that we supposedly don't show, film over and over, where is this guy? Where is this guy? Where is this guy? That they finally got so sick of hearing us saying this, putting out that meme, that they were going to show us. They were going to put him in those situations that they never put him in, because we know they're hiding him. We know that they're protecting him. And I'll tell you what, whoa, hold on. The other players on that team know we're right. They know we're right. And so it's not just us. They want to show the other players. Well, that backfired on them because they buy their own fucking bullshit. Just like it was proven in this game.
Just like in the pregame when they said that they're going to go in and show Pittsburgh a 4-0 Bronco team, they're going to go in and show Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go in and show Pittsburgh.
But I'm just saying that this whole STR fan base bullcrap, spin Kool-Aid, Hong Kong they're toxic.
They are the most toxic
fan base. They're the most toxic fan base in the National Football League.
Oh, well, because there's so much spin doctoring going on. I mean, that's where the money goes. That's where the money goes. But let me ask you this. It's about Simmons again. Are they going to want to try to hide him again next week?
Yes.
Or this week? I'm sorry, on Sunday.
Yes.
Because they got
yes,
shown.
because he got exposed.
He got exposed.
What did they do? What the fuck did they do? You said it. You said it in your pregame last week. They said they were going to go after Simmons. Who said that Mark Andrews is going to be a mismatch in this game? Me. Who said that they were going to go after the middle of the field and Justin Simmons? This guy right here. And we showed it in our film review. You idiots.
Well, here's the thing. Ravens aren't listening to us. We're basically just reporting what we're seeing. Okay? It's not about hate. And when I say that Locke can make throws that whatchamacallit can't, Bridgewater, it's not because I love Drew Lock. It's just a fact of life.
You love Drew Lock, remember?
Yeah. You know, here's the thing. I want people who, if you're a new subscriber or whatever, go listen to my very first videos. What I said, I got to start this Bronco channel because there's got to be a cultural change. That's why blaming Fangio, blaming Munchak is going to get you nowhere.
Vance
You're
Joseph.
just going to get another Fangio, and the constant is going to be the same. You're going to get a guy that wants to meddle, who's doing his best imitation of Al Davis, and until that constant is out, there's a culture here. You protect Justin Simmons while the other players are scratching their head because they're not getting paid. They're busting their ass. Jackson, who's not perfect by any but he's What's that?
Bryce Callahan?
And then here's the other thing too. We'll go to offense. You got a new up and coming star in Williams, and you don't appreciate him. You don't appreciate anything this guy brings to the table, and that's why Philip Lindsay was laughing his ass off when he got drafted. And I realize now he wasn't laughing at the pick. He was laughing at what's going to happen to this pick. There needs to be a cultural change at the Denver Broncos. You better get it through your head because it's never going to change. Matter of fact, well, I use that, it's ironic. It's like irony on so many levels. I opened my video up with the film review, which was more of a commentary because I had teacher-parent conference, and I had to get it put out there. But in the lyrics of the Titanic, it says we're always going to be the same. We'll never change. Something to that effect. Well, yeah, we'll always be the same. And it's going to be like that until that guy gets out. It's always going to be the same.
I agree.
So that's why you have the arrogance on the field that you saw with Shurmur. Oh, we're going to show everybody. And you know what? How can you call that a promotion to get Aaron Rodgers? If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to look at that and say that I absolutely don't want to be on that team. So thank you, John Elway, for doing everything you can, to I know how bad. I know that guy's just like, God, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I know that's what he thinks. And he's got these idiot fans, these toxic fans doing the same thing. All right. So anything else with this? Last week we were right, told you so, and in spades. And now we go. Do you want to go to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you can go ahead. See what.
Well, I went and watched and I went and looked at injury reports and stuff like this, and I'm going to just talk about, because you don't like talking about quarterbacks, but I'm going to be the one to talk about the quarterbacks. Got to talk about the quarterbacks with this one. Now, 3 years ago, I had said to Pittsburgh Steelers fans that I know, you've got to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. You've got to get rid of Big Ben. You got to do it. You got to cut that umbilical cord. Oh, no. Now, 3 years later. Now, just think. Back then, you could have got Josh Allen, and because your organization can develop. Now, I know you dipped your toe in with Rudolph. Rudolph probably would make, I think, an excellent backup quarterback. Maybe a coach later on. But you stuck your toe in, and now we're here. But had you done that, had you got rid of him, the whiny cry, Big Ben, you just, if you're the owner or the GM, you pat him on the back and say, Big Ben, you will always have a place in Denver. 3 years ago, John Elway, I see a name. Herbie, Ben Roethlisberger, man the harpoon. And you tell me, Colby, would John Elway do everything he could 3 years ago? It was 3 years ago to bring in Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Available.
Yes.
And we would have been stuck with this fucking statue, right? This immobile fucking statue is inaccurate right now.
Flacco.
Yeah, it would have been Big Ben. Because he can't help himself. He does. Well, here's the joke. The reason because it's myopic. He can't look into bring in somebody to actually develop him. He's just all about names, and that's why he's just salivating over the idea of Aaron Rodgers coming here, which all he's doing is making a case for him not to be here, in my opinion. I've looked at all this crap. So I want to talk about the quarterbacks in this game. I'm sorry, Steeler fans. I am no fan of your Big Ben. Granted, he can pop out a good game once in a while still. But with that said, I think let me put it this way. What happens if you put Bridgewater on the Steelers in this game? They win hands down, in my opinion, because they would know how to use Bridgewater, and they don't play these games. Okay, they don't play little PR games. We're going to show everybody. They would use, I think the head and shoulders, Bridgewater is better than than Big Ben right now. Head and shoulders. And I think if he was to go to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers, this would be a victory for the Steelers, hands down, even with their injuries. So I don't have faith in Big Ben. That's a big, like I don't have faith in our offensive line and I don't have faith in our defensive line. I don't have faith in that guy. So that's my take on the quarterback situation. I saw that it seemed like like I said, their wide receiving and linebacking is the hardest hit, or at least it was going into Green Bay. I think you can run on this team if you stick with it, but you got Shurmur. God knows what that guy's going to do. And our lines, I think their lines, I think their offensive, defensive lines anyway are pretty much okay. Am I wrong or am I right? I haven't.
They're banged up.
Okay, are they substituting?
Yes.
Okay, so they're banged up too. Well, you got to try to go. I think you're going to get some sacks on Big Ben because he's notoriously hangs on to the ball too long. He's done it his whole career. What?
I don't think so.
I'll bet you. Oh, like you said, you didn't think they were going to stop the running game. This is one I think that I'm not going to say a lot of sacks. I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to say that Big Ben will fuck up somehow, hold on to the ball too long, and even the crappy defensive line of the Broncos will end up getting to him at least a couple of times in this game because he's another one that can't help himself. So Big Ben may even throw a couple of picks too because he's inaccurate. I'm sorry, Steeler fans. You should have cut the ties with him along 3 years ago. You got yourself Josh Allen, and you been done with it. Broncos, Elway would have picked him up, and we'd have to deal with his statue ass behind our crap offensive line. But anyway, I'm all fired up for this. It's just I don't know. I'm not sure about this game because one thing I am sure is Pittsburgh is a animal in a corner backed in a corner right now, and they probably still have superior player personnel, and I think the game may be closer than you think, Colby. But go ahead, you go ahead. You really dived into the film, so
yeah. I went back and watched the Green Bay versus the Steelers game, and I could see where you're coming at with Big Ben. I see what you're saying about him, and I understand the criticisms that you have about Big Ben. But there's a much bigger picture than just Big Ben, in my personal opinion. I think that Mike Tomlin is one of the top 6 coaches in the league because I think he is a tone setter. I think he's a culture setter. He's no bullshit, and he brings in player personnel that makes sense. I think that the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not as good as it used to be with Mike Munchak.
You're breaking up. We'll have to wait. Okay. Hold on a second. You got to go back to where Mike Munchak again. The line.
Okay, so it hasn't been the same since Mike Munchak's been gone. I think that right now, currently, the best part of this team on the offensive line is the interior. I think that the only way that we're going to get sacks in this game is with Von Miller or Malik Reed.
Yep.
I think that,
on that.
I don't trust Draymond Jones against a power gap.
No. Yeah, just to make it clear, I wasn't talking about the interior. I was strictly talking about Von Miller and Malik Reed. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't trust Draymond Jones against a power gap run tone setter and Trey Turner. And I don't trust Shelby Harris against the other guy who is similar to Trey Turner. I don't remember his name, but they also have a center and Kendrick Green, who is a way better player than Lloyd Cushenberry.
Yep.
I just, in my personal opinion, I think that Najee Harris is one of those running backs. They drafted him in the first round for a reason. I think that now if this is Green Bay, I get your point. But Mike Tomlin knows this is Denver, and he understands that this team is all PR and hype. So that's why I disagree with you with the Big Ben. I think that they're going to come out and be smart with everything they're going to do in this game, because I think they're going to take a little bit out of what they saw with what the Ravens did last week. I think they're going to be a lot of quick passing game. I think they're going to attack the middle of the field. A guy that is going to be an X factor for me that no one's talking about both on the Steelers and on the Broncos PR crap is Pat Freiermuth, the tight end from Penn State. I think they are going to attack Justin Simmons and Alexander Johnson once again. I think that another guy is Deontay Johnson. I think they're going to put him on Patrick Surtain, or I think they're going to put him on Kyle Fuller. And I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be in the slot, and they're going to attack the middle of the field. I think they're going to attack the middle of the field in this game, and they're going to do a lot of quick passing game. And I think that they're just going to try and run the football. And the Ravens didn't have success running the football last week, but they were still able to get the yards that they wanted to get. That's on the offense for the Steelers.
Yeah. Well, the Steelers, no matter what, will run. Whether it's successful, they will keep hammering away because that's who they are.
And they're an AFC North team that will punch you in the mouth. They're
punch
still
in the
the
mouth.
Steelers.
Yeah.
What happened last week when we got punched in the mouth? And we're in Pittsburgh this week.
They put the tail between the legs. Well, the game plan offensively was just stupid. I mean, just plain retarded. There wasn't there. Anyway, so do you think Shurmur will, or do you think they're going to continue embarrassing themselves? Because you know what happens to somebody who is addicted to a certain thing, they just got to keep proving.
Continue to embarrass themselves.
I can't say that they're not going to do that. I think, and the secondary for the Steelers, are they up to par?
They are an average unit.
Okay, I mean, were they injured from last year's?
Not
the are they injured
unit, but they are.
You're breaking up again. You'll have to go and see what you say. Sorry, you got technical difficulties right now.
Over the top very often.
You're still frozen, so we'll have to wait for you there. Now you're unfroze. Okay, let's ask this question again with the secondary. What about injuries and from last year and that kind of thing? Okay, you're good. You're good to go.
Okay, they're above average unit. They're very sound tackling. I know. I'm just going to talk fast. The Steelers cornerback room is a very sound unit. They're a very good tackling unit. They're an average unit. They don't get beat over the top often, and they keep plays in front of them.
So they're kind of a bend don't break kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
So, how do you gauge how do you gauge this game is going to go offensively for the Denver Broncos? You're frozen again. Go ahead.
How are they going to gauge going offensively? Correct.
Yeah.
The Steelers or the Broncos?
The Broncos. I'm sorry.
I think the Broncos are. I think they're going to try to run the ball more this week, but with Shurmur, I have no idea what he's going to do because he doesn't stick to a game plan week to week. There's no identity on this offense, like I've said at the beginning of the video. There's no identity on this offense.
Yeah, it's hard to determine. I guess that's kind of a touchy one for the defensive coordinator for the other team. Is like what game plan are we going to see this week? Are we going to see 3 wideouts, or obviously they have no confidence in their running game, even though they can run the ball. So it's weird. It's weird. I know. So offensively for the Steelers, what would you do? Well, you kind of went through that. What they would do? Okay. How about defensively for the Steelers? What defensively for the Steelers do you see?
I see that they're going to blitz a lot in this game. They're going to do what the Ravens did last week. They're going to blitz a lot because the Broncos can't hold up against the blitz, and I think that Shurmur's going to get off his spot probably in the second quarter. Like, I think they're gonna try and get Shurmur off his spot so he can run his 3 wide receiver sets. They're going to blitz a lot in this game.
So logically, any competent coordinator out there would say, okay, we got exposed trying to throw the ball too much, and we're competent OC, so we're probably going to run a lot more and throw the tight ends a lot. That would be competent. But you think that Shurmur's they got another point to prove with this game too?
Yeah. I think that the Steelers are going to make him get off of his game plan, and I think that they're going to blitz a lot more in this game.
Well, their game plan may be to throw anyway, regardless. You know, that may be the game plan. That's what it was last week. Never really had an intention to run. Never had an intention to run.
No, and I think and the Steelers have a better safety than we do, Micah Fitzpatrick, so I just want to put that out there. He's a damn good player. Of course. No one's talking about him either.
They don't want to. They don't want to compare those two.
Nope.
Hey, Steeler fans out there, Bronco fans out there say Simmons is so much better than your guy Fitz. He's just so much better. So don't blame us. You go talk to those I don't know, delusional people out there in Bronco.
Idiots. Yeah, idiots. I think that they're going to blitz in this game. I think they're going to try and get us off their spot like the Ravens did last week, and I think Shurmur's going to abandon everything, and he's going to go back to what he feels comfortable doing. That's his 3 wide receiver sets bullshit.
Well, that's his game plan. I don't think it's about getting. I don't think it's anything about getting him off his game plan. I think he goes in with that mindset that he's going to throw the 3 wide receivers. I think that's the game plan from the start. I think he makes it look like they're getting him off the game plan. I don't believe it for a second. I believe very strongly that he is going in with the 3 wide receiver set. You froze, so I had to keep talking. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're not froze.
Go ahead.
You're not froze, so you're going to talk about Shurmur. Oh, now you're froze again. Well, they call him the Freeze. He keeps freezing out online. Do-do-do-do-do. Yes, they call him the Freeze. He keeps freezing out online. Okay, now
there we go.
You're back.
I'm going to continue to freeze.
You're not frozen. So give me a Shurmur. What do you think about it? I think Shurmur goes in with that game plan.
Oh, yeah. The 3 wide receiver sets?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're going to blitz the hell out of him, and he's going to get beat.
So how come Shurmur never got any blame whatsoever by the field goal? Well, there's the Dove Valley talking point, right? You do not blame Shurmur. So this is what I wanted to get into too. So you really think, and I'm asking every fucking Bronco fan out there, do you really think that Pat Shurmur sat at home, or Pat Shurmur, excuse me, do you think that Vic Fangio couldn't sleep at night because he was dreaming about 3 wide receiver sets? Vic Fangio. So who brought Shurmur really in? Do you really think Vic Fangio just couldn't go to bed at night dreaming of 3 wide receiver sets? Now, sure, he signed off on it, but who was the main guy that wanted it, just had to get in Shurmur with those 3 wide receiver sets? And that's what's driving these game plans going into these games.
Yep.
That's what's driving it.
Yep. I agree.
So, are you thinking 30 burgers or are you thinking close game?
It'll be a close game. I think at the start of the game, it'll be close. And I think the Broncos will get away what they're doing and just be the same old Broncos and get their asses kicked.
Last week, STR was, and all those feel-good fans were just hanging on. It was a close game. It was so close. That game was never fucking close. And that was just like Detroit. When they played Detroit, that thing would have gotten out of hand had Mr. Back Problem not be, over, under, and everything else under the sun. And they didn't get the hands to the face and all this. Sure. I'd even throw in I'd throw in a touchdown by Albert O. I would even throw that one in and still would have got out of hand. That's how I saw it. What I was seeing on film. The Broncos were just totally player personnel wise. They just couldn't. They weren't even in the same class. Not even in the same class. Yeah. So except when it came to the run blocking. That's one thing that's interesting. It's paradoxical about these lines. The offensive line actually did a pretty decent job run blocking in this game. And
because Quinn
Myers?
Quinn Miners is a stud out there. I think he was our best offensive lineman last week.
I kind of looked like it on the film. That's what kind of looked like. He made a mistake.
Don't start that guy.
Well, of course not. No, throw Reisner or Glasgow in there. That'll make all the difference in the world. Oh yeah.
Yep.
And the defense line, the defense front seven seems to be pretty good with stopping the run.
Yeah, wait till Cameron Hayward gets his hands on Dalton Reisner.
They're putting Dalton back in?
Just saying. I'm pretty sure they will. I've heard that he's coming back this week, so wait till Cameron Hayward gets on that side.
So do you think they're going to knock Teddy out of this game?
Oh, I could see it happening again. I could really see it happening again because the Steelers defensively are no joke. They're
they are.
Huh?
Did the Steelers get anybody back in the linebacking this week?
They got Devin Bush back, and I think. Oh yeah, remember him? And I think they're getting back Joel Shurmur. Joel Shurmur, linebacker. Yeah. And that was a guy that Fangio wanted to go get when the Browns let him go. But, Elway wanted to, bring in somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a little nugget there for all the idiot Bronco fans saying it's all Fangio's fault.
Yeah, Yep. So are we on the countdown to throwing Teddy Bridgewater in the graveyard? Are we on that countdown right now?
It's already happened.
Yeah. Like right on cue, right?
It's already happened. So it's already happened.
So in the preseason, we said, wait, circle these games on the calendar, and at this point, we will start seeing the death of Bridgewater. Aaron Rodgers. Right? Oh, you froze again. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. We knew we were going to have a real bad one because I couldn't even get him online at first. I had to keep trying. Mr. Freeze is back with a vengeance. There you are. Now you're back. And now you're froze again. I guess we better end this, huh? Then on Sunday evening, I'll have to go and do a Broncos show with you. Hopefully we'll get a better connection. Oh, this is pathetic. You're totally froze, dude. In every capacity. Hopefully I can get you back just to say goodbye. But you're just... Let everybody know they're being recorded. Oh, well, not really. Okay, do you want to say goodbye? Before you freeze?
Yeah.
Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say before you go?
No, I'm gonna freeze probably. So I just want to say this before I leave, actually, because my internet's finally freaking kicking in, hopefully, because I have shitty internet. I think the Broncos are going to lose this game when they go to the Steelers. I think that people are very underestimating both lines for the Steelers. I think the defensive line for the Steelers I think they're going to blitz a lot in this game. I think that the O-line for the Steelers is better than people think it is. Yeah, they're not the best unit, but they're a very good unit. I think the key in this game is whether Pat Shurmur can get out of his ass and do the things that make sense. I think that's going to be the biggest key in this game, but I don't see him doing that. And I think that I just don't see a win here going to the Steelers. I just don't see it. It's very hard for me to see the Denver Broncos, who got their asses kicked against a Ravens team that had a lot of people out. And the Steelers have a lot of people out, and they still have better player personnel than the Broncos. And, the Steelers are 1-3, but I'm not going to underestimate a Mike Tomlin Steelers run franchise. How bad they are, they're still a team to be. You still got to game plan correctly against this team, because they will come out, and if you come out sluggish and don't know what the hell you're doing, they will kick your ass.
Yeah, my take is that it's going to be very, very difficult for the Broncos to beat this team. If this team is going to be backed in a corner, in my opinion, there would have to be a series of mistakes by that ultimately work in the Broncos' favor where they get a win.
Yep.
But player personnel to player personnel, I just don't see it either. The Steelers are going to fight. They're going to be scrapping in this game because they know their collective lives are on the line here. They can't go 1-4, so the Broncos are going to get their best shot, the Steelers' best shot. I can guarantee you that they've had all these last weeks. So another batten down the hatch game. It's coming. It's coming. So again, a team with no identity versus a team that is all about identity. So that's what we really have. And I think that's how I'm going to title this.
Just like last week.
Yeah.
Just like last week. I'm going to continue to say it. That we're going to go in and show Pittsburgh. So all the people that are saying that, you better rephrase how you're going to go about this game, because it's going to be it's going to be different than what a lot of people think it's going to be. We're not going to go in and put a 30 burger on this team. Not going to happen.
So when they call for Vic Fangio, and of course leaving Shurmur out of all this, which is part of the Dove Valley talking point, who are you going to have replace yet again another head coach, basically yes man, for John Elway? I mean, when is the madness going to stop? When is it going to stop? You got to get Al Davis Elway out of the building.
I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know. I really don't know. I want this team to be good, but until Elway's out of there, this team will never be relevant until he's gone and we get a real owner.
Well, I'd like to think that, but you could get a real owner that's a really knucklehead.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. That's what STR wants. They want shopping malls and.
Oh yeah, clown shows, more clown shows.
Brittany Bolin, all that crap. Yeah, you want all those type of people, don't you?
Yeah, the empty suit known as Brittany Bolin. Yes, that way John Elway can get his foot in the door. But this right of refusal thing is still, if I'm not mistaken, it's still going on, right? They're still in litigation, right? I'm not missing anything, right? I didn't think so. Okay, nope. So anyway, that's our pregame show. Batten down the hatches. That's all I got to say. Like I said last week, now it would have been one thing maybe if Pittsburgh came here, but you're going into their backyard. So good luck with that. Oh, just so you know, Pittsburgh fans, all the sports talk radio and all the knuckle dragon fans that follow them were saying, we're going to go and we'll show Pittsburgh. We're going to stick it to Pittsburgh. Just remember that while this game's going on. That's all I've got.
Yep. Remember. That's all I got.
All right. Don't freeze. Okay.
I'll try.
Try not to freeze. As you phrase. All right. I'll see you.
Yeah, bye.